Yes.
Hey, hey.
Hey, 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 indeed. Whoa. That happened.
I'll turn that off.
It's up to you. You can have it on if you want.
No, I don't.
No? Don't want to know.
That's all just group text that I don't have to respond to.
Okay. I'm gonna sit over here.
I'm gonna take my contacts out, I forgot.
Okay.
I was in the process.
Pamplemousse.
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 Yeah.
Very nice. Quicksilver, huh? Neil Stevenson?
Yeah. I really loved Cryptonomicon, and then
Yes.
read the first one in that series. I think Quicksilver's the second one.
Yep.
I got like halfway through it and stalled out.
You should reread Neuromancer. I'm serious. It's so good, dude. It's so good. I love it.
When's the last time you read Snow Crash?
I actually, I read the first 10 pages of it last week.
And it was just so bad already?
No, it's not so bad already. I just really, I was reading them I was choosing whether to reread that or Neuromancer, and I was reading them side by side, and I was like, I just want to be reading this again.
Huh.
I just want to be reading this again.
It was a long time ago for me.
Yep.
I was like 25.
Yep. No, Snow Crash it definitely does have, bigger, I don't know, more explicitly set out big ideas in it. You know what I mean? The Gibson is just like, I just really love the world that he builds through these, few characters. And
It's weird. I actually don't think I remember Neuromancer very well.
yeah.
I remember Snow Crash. I read them probably in the same
2 weeks,
Mhm.
I think, even.
Mm-hmm.
At least within the same month.
Yep.
In the Philippines.
Those were both Hugo Award winners, I believe.
And, I remember a lot of Snow Crash, and I don't remember shit about Neuromancer.
Understandable. All right, that's a nice little setup you got there. Can I autofocus it right now? Mode. Something. Okay, that looks good. All right. Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest?
Living or dead?
Anybody you want.
Anybody you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hunter S. Thompson.
Hunter S.
Yeah.
Is there why is that? Do you want to elaborate on that at all?
He just seems like the most fun.
That's an excellent point. Cool. Okay. Number 2, would you like to be famous? In
No.
what way? No. No. In what way? No. No. We did discuss our feelings on this question extensively.
Yeah.
tonight.
I don't
Do you
want...
care to give a more elaborated version of your position?
I don't want any of the downsides that come with fame. I guess fame in and of itself, in a utopian world,
Mm-hmm.
would maybe, isn't such a terrible idea, but just
Sure.
all the downsides to reality as a famous person seem like they suck.
Not worth it.
And not worth it at all. So, no, being respected amongst your peers, I think that's a much better goal.
Sounds right to me. Before making a phone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say? Why?
I've made a lot of cold calls, or just for work. I've done a lot of phone calling. So, I don't know.
Yes.
It's hard for me to even. I don't rehearse it, like, say shit out loud, but I definitely try and think about what I'm going to potentially be talking about.
Yes.
So you're not stumbling while you're talking to this person you're just meeting for the first time on the telephone.
Yes.
It's a weird
yes.
thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think I rehearse shit, but I like think about what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yep. That makes sense. No, that makes sense. You can think about the content of the phone call, but not the like
But with
specific
friends,
wording.
less so though. Generally,
Yeah, of course.
you know.
But unless
So
you're,
there's
you
two
know,
different modes.
unless you're conning them
Yeah.
at the moment.
Yeah. Unless I'm totally using them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Then
it's par for the course.
well, yeah. What would constitute a perfect day for you?
In the simplest form, it just is good food and bike riding is really, and living in Topanga. That's
So
just a
current
perfect day.
current life, basically.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
If I didn't
Sounds
have to
great.
go to an office,
Yeah.
I don't even mind going to the office that much, but you know,
Mm-hmm. But
if I didn't have
you
to
could
go,
lose it. Yeah. Yeah. You wouldn't miss it if it was
Yeah.
gone.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe I
Yeah.
would.
Something to consider. When did you last sing to yourself? To someone else?
I don't know. I probably sang a song to someone else in the last week,
Uh-huh.
trying to get them to recall something. you know,
but not
I wasn't,
like
serenading.
Not, right? Yeah, not serenading.
I don't
just,
sing
like-
in the shower.
Okay. You don't like. Yeah. You don't, like.
I don't vocalize in that way normally.
Okay. Yep. You don't like sing with other people ever.
No, not anymore. Have done. Sang choir in high school.
Did your parents like sing songs in the car when you guys were on road trips or stuff like that? Not really.
Not really. No. And they weren't big singer-alongers.
Cool. I got you. Sorry. If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or the body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you choose?
Mind.
Mind. Mind over matter. Simple one. Simple one. I'm not sure. I kind of feel like ignorance is bliss to some extent, but
I've seen ignorance be so confusing
yeah,
and like a torturous,
that is very
horrible
really, yeah, that's really
confusion
true.
that I would just never want. As
Yeah.
opposed to like people who are fading physically but are mentally
Yeah.
sharp can,
Yeah.
as long as you have the right mental kind of attitude, exactly, that you can still be okay, you
Yep.
know,
Yep.
and have, I think, a much higher quality of life
Yeah.
overall. Otherwise, it's like this fucking
It's true.
prison body.
Yeah, or even if you're not aware of it, you're definitely like making a, you're then definitely burdening others. If you're like that fucked up, it's true. Do you have a secret hunch about how you will die?
Not really. I mean, I imagine myself just dying on a bike a lot.
Yeah,
Uh,
but that's, I mean,
But I don't really think it's gonna happen in the sense where like I'm sure that's the way I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
but it's
yeah.
just like currently seems like the most likely way I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
But I imagine myself dying in lots of scenarios.
yes. I mean, I think that's like not a. I think that's like a pretty normal thing to do, to sort of, rehearse all of the things that can like happen and related to like the stuff you spend your time on.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's sort of a very natural, automatic thing we do, is just like project outcomes and weigh their
Right.
probability, and it just so happens that weird ones like that tend to, I think, stick out for us because they really are like they're like outliery weird events, and that's like makes them inherently sort of extreme,
Yeah.
even to rehearse, because it's like ostensibly like activating the same stuff. So it's like,
Well, yeah, I guess that's kind of why I fantasize about it, because specifically, especially in cycling, it could happen in a car as well.
yes,
Just like when an accident happens, like my worst cycling accident, it started and over in under a second for sure. So there's just like no time to even. And I easily could have just fallen wrong and hit my head a little harder, and then that would have been the last second where I was thinking about anything, and I was just like, I'm flying through the air.
yeah,
Not even knowing why, or like everything going from fine to like flop.
Yep.
In a second.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that could be the end.
Yep.
But there's so much, I don't know. That might be better.
Yeah, might be better to just not see it coming.
Yeah.
I don't know. For what? But it's not a secret hunch.
Yeah, but not.
For what in your
lots of thoughts.
For what in your life do you feel most grateful?
Just kind of, I feel like I'm pretty just lucky. I feel like we're all pretty lucky. I feel pretty grateful being just born where I was born. You have to be pretty grateful for that.
That is damn right.
Because overall, I think my life's, generally awesome and easy, relative to a lot of people. So, yeah.
I think that is a appropriately humble answer. If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be?
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one, right?
About the way I was raised. Because it's so hard to know. I mean, predict outcomes with that kind of shit.
Sure.
If things were different, so I don't really have too many wishes. It just sort of is the way it was. But I feel like my parents would probably dispute this. I feel like they never gave me very much advice. I don't remember them like guiding me through a lot of the treacherous shit about childhood.
Huh.
Like I've always seen in movies, like people preparing their kids for like, bullies and stuff, and like how shit's gonna go down, and like maybe you should apply this strategy or something. I think some of that has got to be Hollywood bullshit, but it's just like I feel like my parents never talked to me about that shit, and I had a lot of trouble at school.
Really?
Yeah, growing up, and it was just sort of like.
And they were like, "You'll figure it out."
Yeah, they were like really supportive and nice about it, but never. But I don't know if that's just my little childhood shithead, like rejecting and not remembering any of their actual suggestions.
Who knows? I mean, I mean that's maybe that was their conscious strategy for some reason.
Jack's falling apart.
Yeah,
no big deal.
I see.
I see it.
Yeah. Okay. yeah, that's it. Cool. Okay. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained one quality or ability, what would it be? The ability of not working in an office.
I mean, currently, this is maybe a little short-sighted. I mean, currently, I would really like just the guaranteed ability to fucking be fast enough to go professional at 34 years old and be like the oldest rookie ever.
Awesome. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's great that you're trying to do that. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know?
If it could only be one thing, the first thing that came to mind is if we're the only ones out here.
Yeah.
I would like to know that question. That's just such a great eternal. Lately I've just been thinking about it. I think I read some article.
Yes.
That was it was a guy on a podcast. Some fucking scientist from CERN.
Yeah.
It's actually a really good podcast.
Okay.
He, just talking about like almost the likelihood that we are the only life in the universe.
Yes.
Because it's so rare. I mean, I guess if the universe is infinite, then everything has to exist
Sure,
eventually.
but it's not.
But it's not, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
we could just be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's true. It
I
could
think
be the
that's
only.
the craziest shit. That's so much crazier than there being aliens to me.
It's
Almost,
pretty,
you know?
It's pretty freaking. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's really not clear. Like, we just don't have a good sense of whether or not, like, self-organization is a principle that's gonna get, that's gonna just happen in different ways. Like, we have good estimates for, like, DNA-based life or something like that,
Yeah.
where it's like we basically, like, know what you would need to support our kind of life. Then you can sort of get an idea, but we don't know if that's a useful, like, that's the right set of criteria or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
there might be some other forms of life that are just, like, evolve under totally different conditions, in which case maybe there's, like, a bunch more places, or just, like, I
Yeah.
don't know. We really just don't know. We have a very limited data set,
Right.
honestly.
We need the crystal ball. It's the only solution.
It's hard to make comments about, like, exobiology when there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
So it's a little weird. Other people suggest that maybe you have, like, different universes tuned to different values that then let different sorts of things happen, and then you have other forms of life that are in, like, adjacent universes, let's say.
Yeah.
Just where the, like, physical parameters are, like, tweaked a little bit. Which, like, that seems possible, but I don't know. Again, like, that can be, like, break stuff entirely, and then, like, nothing can form. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, the
Okay.
multiverse stuff is weird.
Is there something that you've dreamt of doing for a long time? Why haven't you done it?
That's I guess something I've been really not pursuing my whole life would be any kind of art form that I've done over time. I never really pursued any of it. I mean, I guess I did and still do art,
Mm-hmm.
but I've always been, like, too scared to fail at it, I think,
Yeah.
to really pursue it. I've been thinking about that a lot lately too. Just now that I've, like, totally decided to dedicate my life to a silly pursuit.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, why I haven't done it for that one.
All right. Well, then we know what's up next. What's the greatest accomplishment of your life? Dang it! I keep nudging this freaking camera.
I don't know. That's sort of. On the one hand, I mean, I don't really feel like I've achieved anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that if someone was like, please list your achievements. I mean, like, I have a lot of bullshit, but I don't think anything is, like, a real, true achievement in life, other than really similar to what you said. I mean, I just feel like I try and just boil it down to trying to be happy and doing what you want to do. I do sort of believe, I guess, in the selfish viewpoint that kind of helping yourself is helping everyone else,
I said the very same thing to a taxi driver last night.
Really?
Yes.
That's funny.
He told me, he was like, because I told him what I do, and he was like, it's great that you're trying to, like, help people. And I was like, honestly, like, if anything that I did helped people, that'd be great. But, like, this is, like, something that fulfills me, and I think I can be a productive member of society best if I'm, like, a fulfilled, happy person. Probably,
Yeah.
Leads more to positivity than anything else.
Right.
But sort of anything more than that is, I'm not capable of.
Yeah.
I could be more selfless, but I sort of can't also.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something to always just be working towards, but it
Yeah.
also still comes out of the goodness that comes from doing what you do.
More, for whatever reason, are more capable of being like, I'm going to be totally selfless and like have nothing for myself and give everything like of my life to other people, right? I mean, some people do that. They
Sure.
feel like they
Because
need to.
in their own way, that's what fulfills them.
No, exactly. That's right. They're not like I mean, they have to. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to like, yes, of course, like aspire to do the best you can, but like recognize what's, something that will drive you away from it because you can't like sustain it or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I mean.
I've been thinking about that a lot just because of a same sort of continuation of like pursuing a ridiculous goal that
Yes.
seems quite frivolous and even wasteful. But then it's like,
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of art could probably be looked at as wasteful too. Not
Yes.
to compare.
Yeah.
I mean, comparing sport to art is a little pretentious maybe, but just like in terms of it's something that it does enrich and inspire everyone.
Mhm.
Sort of like these weird human pursuits,
Yes.
even though they seem totally silly and frivolous.
Indeed. Got you.
Enough on that one. I'm going for longest video.
What do you? No, you're not. What do you value most in a friendship?
Honesty. If you gotta boil it, that seems like they want a one-word answer. I mean,
Sure. Sure.
They.
These guys. These bastards and their questions. Yeah. Sure. It's a reasonable response. What's your most treasured memory? I think I skipped a bunch of these when I was reading them to you. I don't know if I read that one to you before now.
Treasured memory?
Yeah.
No, definitely
Yeah.
not.
See? I don't know. Just surprises all over the place.
I don't know. I don't know if I have one treasured memory. It's
No? Not
like a
one?
ranked most treasured, like a moment. There's so many types too,
I
like
don't know.
moments or spans of time.
Is there one that's like you feel like just stands out for some reason?
I just feel like I have a lot of like big chunks.
Like I said something about just like being 3 and wearing water wings in the tub in Paris, which is like I think like my earliest memory. So I like call that out as being like particularly. I don't know about
memorable.
like treasured or whatever. I don't.
Yeah, is that what the
I don't really.
question says?
Yeah,
Most treasured?
yeah. I don't really know what that
Yeah.
means. I mean, I guess that means
Yeah.
like looking back and being like, oh, that was the best.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Yeah, lots of stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I went with
So
something.
you went
just
with like a moment.
yeah, just something
Yeah.
that like stuck out. But I mean, I think you could go with other things too, like a set of things, like being in high school or like, I don't know.
I think if I had to go to like most treasured memory, it would be the trip I went on in the Yukon. But
Yeah.
that's 40 days.
Cool.
But that
Yeah,
whole
that's-
fucking thing, I mean, there were so many moments in there, but just overall,
Yeah.
I think in terms of like how that changes you as a person,
Yeah.
just being that self-sufficient is something that I took for granted, I think, really hard.
Yeah.
Not that I'm even the most self-sufficient person
Yeah.
around, but
Yeah.
just knowing that you can do that, I think is just such a huge lesson.
I was saying to someone that I think when the zombie apocalypse comes, I'm not going to live for very long because I don't think I'm very self-sufficient. I was like, I need my contact lenses and
Oh God, so do I.
allergy meds and my fucking anyway. I feel like I would just starve. I'd be like, I don't know where to get any food. And I don't have a
You
gun.
figured
and
out,
like,
so you would be one of the survivors. I can't
I don't
believe
know.
that. The smarts are what count.
I
Apocalypse,
guess.
James.
I just feel like shit's gonna get looted, especially in cities. Like I feel like that's gonna be really fucked
Yeah.
because
Oh yeah. It's
We're
gonna
gonna
go
be-
crazy.
we're gonna be,
No, you need a boat.
like the amount of stuff that gets that like Manhattan would just drown in garbage, and all of the food would be gone within a week.
You have to get out.
Yeah, you can't the amount of stuff that is brought in to sustain that population, and the amount of shit that is carted out.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Same here.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why. That's part of it. I'm like, I don't have a shotgun. Like, people have guns. Like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go down to the grocery store and loot groceries next to people. I don't know. I guess so. All right.
Go on looting.
I love that. That's what we got to on that. What is your most terrible memory?
I feel like I have a shitty memory. Because I don't rank things like that. I don't have one most.
You don't have a real shitty memories.
Just one moment.
Yeah, I said
Let's see. I could think of a lot from high school.
When Pretzel got hit by the car, I said.
Oh, that's a real bad one. Yeah.
There was really scary shit that happens. Getting in car accidents, stuff like that. I don't know.
What's the phrasing of
Injuries.
the question?
What's your most terrible memory?
My most terrible memory. Yeah, injuries and near-death experiences don't even rank. It's all emotional shit.
Yeah.
It would be like getting fucking, 7th grade, getting knocked down.
Yeah.
And having people just throw backpacks on me. That was a terrible one. And I was just too much of a fucking new kid pussy to do anything. I just took it because it wasn't really that bad.
Yeah.
It was just humiliating.
Yeah.
But I didn't fight back. And
it keeps inching closer.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of shit like that.
Yeah.
In the early days of that year that sealed the deal for the next 2 years being the worst. The collection of the worst memories of my life are all bunched into those 2 years.
I'm sorry to hear that. I don't think I knew that, dude. I don't think I knew that you were bullied so much at that age. That sucks.
Just sort of real low level, goofy, shitty,
But
I was
just
the butt of the
stuff?
joke. Yeah, but just real consistent, yeah. For solid 3 years, 7th through 9th grade, it was just terrible.
That's horrendous.
And then 10th grade, I was climbing out of the hole.
Yeah.
And then 11th and 12th grade, people finally are kind of...
Finally, we're like...
I found a couple friends.
Yeah.
And then eventually, it was I could just relax at school. And then there's a funny, this I think happens every year. It's this cathartic at a small private school where classes of 90 or 100 people then senior year cry together on a retreat and all become friends after being shitty for 6 years.
Yeah.
But happens every class, the same shit.
Yeah.
This weird
Strange.
ritual of fucked upness.
Yeah, well, just
totally uniform.
Well, you just
uniform
you're
inconsistency and wildness.
You're all making
catharsis.
this transition at that same time from where you're moving from your home out into the world, and so you realize oh, you're all doing that together. You're
fuck.
Similarities are greater than your differences. Blah blah
Get
blah.
along.
Yeah, it's oh. My hometown. All that stuff.
Yeah.
So stupid. Anyway. If you knew that in 1 year you would die suddenly, would you change anything about the way you are living? You are now living. Why?
I'm gonna die in 1 year?
In 1 year. 1 year from today. Nothing you can do about it.
No.
Yep.
I'd try and ride my bike even more.
Even more.
Because there's no the only reason I'm not riding my bike more right now
Yes.
is because I'm trying to be as fast as possible for racing.
Mm-hmm.
But I would probably just
Ride,
care about trying to be super fast.
Mm-hmm.
I'd just ride as much as possible.
I love it. What does friendship mean to you?
That's such a weird question.
I think I said something about for me, friendship was a lot of siblings because I didn't have siblings or whatever. So I don't know, what I don't know, or or whatever.
I think a lot of what I find fun in friendship. It's so many things. So it's just but it's companionship. I think a big one for me is game playing. I feel like that's a big one that's just fun, good times. And a lot of people don't do that anymore, and they're just not fun.
It's true. That is accurate.
And, yeah, I don't know.
Okay. What roles do love and affection play in your life?
What roles does it play?
Some people might say that love and affection, so a cold person would say that they'd play no role in his life. Someone who's very emotional would say they're like a drug they're addicted to. I don't know. Some people would say, whatever, just what they mean. Like,
I think it's mostly just about sharing. Sharing life is more fun, kind of thing. Having a partner in crime. I mean, I feel like that's the good version of the best friend as companion kind of argument. It's like, whether or not it's traditional, it certainly seems like it's possibly the best way to do it. So old ain't always the way.
True.
Sometimes it is.
Yes.
But oh God. I'm losing my train of thought.
What roles do love and affection play in your life?
Yeah, so I think it plays a... I guess it plays a somewhat important role. I'm okay being single. I'm pretty okay with it.
Yeah.
There's like a weird thing about getting older.
Yeah.
And just being like, am I gonna be a weird old just bachelor dude who like won't compromise enough to share his life with someone that will make it better? And then I realized that I'm not like that at all. I'm just alone because I don't really mind being alone that much. Most people are trying so hard to not be alone.
It's true.
And that's how they're
very
good
true.
at not being alone, It's just like, and I'm just like, I got shit to do. I'm like, I'm gonna go do this dumb hobby. Leave me alone.
How close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most other people's?
Well, so as previously discussed, I don't think it was happier than most, but I don't think that was because of my home life.
Yeah.
Although, it's hard to know how much all that shit was tied together. Like, maybe I should have been better at, if I'd had a witty comeback, it wouldn't have been so shitty.
It's hard when you're young, and kids are merciless.
Right, but I think it was just kind of like, who's gonna take it? Like, I just fucking took it. Because I was so blindsided. I was like, what? I don't even know these people. They're being mean to me. Like, because it was like first day, like, test.
Yeah.
So a lot of people would just kind of fight back.
Yeah.
And then probably it would have gotten left alone. Yeah. Or not liked, but it wouldn't have lasted as long,
Yep.
I just was like, I'll be the punching bag.
Yeah.
It's just dumb.
Buddy.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your relationship with your mother?
I guess pretty good. I feel like she worries too much in general. I think I feel like this is common of a lot of mothers of men, or not even men, of children other our age now, is like they're kind of almost more interested in your life than they've ever been, I feel like.
Yes.
It's pretty universal, right?
Well, I mean, my mom definitely is.
Yeah, all of them. I think they, like, a lot of them anyway. They're just like, even, and also, like, I don't know, when I talk, she also seems like she's getting old. When I talk to her on the phone, like, half of the things she says are, like, weird, completely obvious, non-essential things to talk about. And I'm like, if we live in separate states, like, she'll be like, hi, this phone's about to die, so if it dies, I'll call you back on my cell phone. I'm like, okay, great.
Sounds...
that could have happened without us ever talking about it and taken no time. And instead, that's how you're starting a phone call with your son.
She just wants to,
But yeah, she's
have as much of you as she can.
Connected.
Exactly.
And her little mom brain. So anyway, that's how I feel about my relationship with my mom. Trying, but so wonderful and sweet and supportive and awesome. So good in so many ways.
Yes.
but drives me nuts.
Pretty standard.
Yep.
Complete the sentence. I wish I had someone with whom I could share
Life.
life. Done. When did you last cry in front of another person by yourself?
I cried by myself today.
There you go.
Very, very. I guess I teared up.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching that. There was a New York Times video about the guy who's controlling these prosthetic arms with his mind. Did you see that shit?
No, I did not see that.
And it's just he has no arms, no shoulders,
Oh my god.
and he just puts on this thing with these amazing looking, perfect robot arms.
Yes.
And he can like pick stuff up, move it around,
What?
take a drink, hold hands, whatever.
Yes.
Just all with his mind. They're connecting through the neurons.
Yep.
And they make like a socket in his brain somewhere, like Matrix style or something.
Yeah, it's probably like. Yeah. Yep.
It's crazy. So anyway, that shit makes me tear up when I see people.
Okay, and so
Achieving
so you
things.
do that in front of? Would you do that in front of someone else too? That was the second part. Of the
Well, I didn't. I thought it was the last time I cried in front of someone else, wasn't it?
in front of another person and by yourself.
Yeah. So I don't remember the last time I cried in front of someone. It might have
No?
been. It
Okay.
might have been as far back as like when Tori and I were breaking up.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't cry. Like
You don't cry in front of-
emotionally in that setting.
So if she had been over, if Kelton had been over here while you were,
Oh, I still would have
watching
teared up.
Yeah.
But this was not like crying.
Right,
You know what I
okay,
mean? This isn't
okay.
like emotional.
But she
like-
would have she might have seen you tearing up.
Yeah, and I would let her know. But it's like
Right.
tears of joy more.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's kind of like.
But that's still
it's
like,
like accomplishment tears.
yeah, but that's still like
It's
that,
crying.
That counts.
Like, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So I wouldn't have hid it. Or,
Right. So, but then you haven't done that.
I don't think that's happened in front of her. No.
Okay. Cool. What if anything is too serious to be joked about?
Nothing.
Bingo. The only what I said like it. My only I was like you should like it's stupid to joke about rape to like in front of someone that has recently been raped. You know, like it's. I don't think that means that rape in general is a topic that's too serious to be joked about. But like there are some things that it's like obviously like you shouldn't do that because it would make some people feel really shitty. I don't think you can like a priori know that, but
Right. It's like there's certain things that are sort of maybe slightly taboo or just uncouth, but
Just
it's
not
also,
nice.
I think, you know, there's a big caveat kind of on nothing can't be joked about. You know, it's like
Yeah.
in a certain circumstance.
Yeah.
It doesn't. So like, you can come up with a lot of stuff. Like teasing, like making fun of rape in front of someone who's just raped, probably not a good idea.
yeah.
You know, joke about murder. Someone's wife just got murdered.
Right.
Probably shouldn't do that one.
Exactly.
But like, especially, you know, that's why there's kind of spaces and times,
Yes.
especially when it's like off limits. So like, there's been a lot of like rape stuff with comics at live performances.
Oh yeah, where they joke about rape and then what? Someone is like, fuck you.
Like there was a big one with that guy Tosh.
Really?
Yeah, he was doing a stand-up set and made some rape joke, and she stood up and was like, "There's nothing funny about rape," and he said, "Wouldn't it be funnier if like 5 guys raped her right now?" And she like stormed out and like was a blogger. She wrote all about it, and it was this big thing. And you know, I don't know. I sort of feel like in a comedy setting,
Yeah.
like you just are kind of anything goes. You know, you can't
That's
go
true.
in there with like a fucking chip on
No,
your
that-
shoulder.
I agree. I'm not again
And
like I'm
nothing's
not.
off limits, but
I agree. I just think there's stuff
that's a
like,
special case.
I just think there's stuff where it's like I mean, even the comic would regret like doing those sorts of things. It's,
Right, like a Michael Richards situation.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. If you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone? Why haven't you told them yet?
I don't think there's anything big I haven't
Yeah.
told anyone.
The sorts of things I could think about for this are, like, you know, sort of wanting your, you know, stuff you might, like, feel about, like, your friends where it's, like, something that you can't really, like, say to them. You know what I mean? Like with Diego, for example. Cigarette smoker. Well, not that so much anymore. He was a cigarette smoker.
Mm-hmm.
But he like, you know, half of his diet is like potato chips, and he like never goes to the gym. And like, I think he's doing something very unhealthy to his body, and I think he should stop. So that sort of thing. But like, I'm never gonna tell him that, you know, like in those sort of like uncertain terms.
Yeah.
Not uncertain terms.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing I was like thinking about. You know what I mean? Like, don't you feel like there's stuff like where it's like doesn't matter almost? Like you like even if you did say it to them, like it's like there's like no way you can see certain things like that. There's no way you can change stuff about yourself unless you like really wanna, like, sort of like what we were saying about Tori, like want to get at that and like agree and you know make it like a part of your focus,
Yeah.
rather than sort of just blocking it off. So I feel like even if there's, I don't know, for me I feel like I have stuff like that, but I don't know, it wouldn't matter even if I told the people. It wouldn't like have an effect.
Right. So you wouldn't regret not telling them.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
Like, I don't know. I don't really.
Yeah.
I
guess that's right, ideally, at least. Yeah.
The only things I really regret in life are things I haven't maybe done, and I try not to even regret them. You know what I mean? But like, I'll second guess decisions I've made in life.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever not told someone something that I regretted.
Yeah.
Or that I'm like keeping something from people in my life.
Yeah.
Like, but
Yeah.
maybe I'm misleading myself.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's stuff people I love don't know that I should be telling them.
Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like everyone I love knows.
Your house containing everything you own catches fire after saving your loved ones and pets. You have time to safely make a final dash to save any one item. What would it be and why?
My bicycle.
Oh boy. And why?
Oh, because I need to ride it. Because it's the thing I do. It's the one thing I do by far more than anything else.
That's awesome. I need to ride it. You need to ride it. It's such a good answer. Such a great answer. Of all the people you're close with, whose death would you find most disturbing and why? I think I forgot to read you that one, didn't I?
Yeah. No, you didn't read me that. That's weird. Whose death would I find the most disturbing?
Yeah.
Like, of anyone I know?
Yeah. All the people you're close with.
It's close with.
Yeah, so it could be like family member.
Yeah.
Could be.
Depends how they die.
I like almost everyone just has like a kid at this stage.
Right, exactly.
It's like, that's just like the most fucked up.
That was the first thing that my brain
really
thought,
think,
but I don't have a kid.
I really think I just really think like any one of many close peers would just be really fucked up.
Yeah, when peers died, like you remember when Josh died? Did you know Heather then?
Yeah, Josh. Who?
Her friend from high school. He was a DJ. Got killed on a scooter.
Yeah.
On the Williamsburg Bridge.
Yeah.
Like me and him were like, total like industry acquaintances in the drum and bass scene.
Yeah.
Like we never like hung out.
Yeah.
But he was still sort of like my peer in that way, and I knew him. Like it was weird, because people hung out at the record store, so you'd spend hours hanging out with these people, but only and at parties, only in those two places.
Yeah.
So anyway, when he died, even though I didn't know him very well, that was disturbing to me because it's like, one of us can just be fucking gone, like we're all
Yeah.
just cruising along, everything's fine, and then, oh, you got yanked out of line. Like, for no real reason,
Nope.
you know?
Exactly.
Which kind of goes back to the, thinking about death thing. I mean, I try and sort of think about it on purpose.
Yeah.
Just to remember that it's like, this shit is really fleeting.
It's
know?
crazy. It's crazy bad. It's a fucking eye blink. I mean, especially compared to just like what has happened. You know, the amount of stuff that is going on in the world.
Yeah.
And what do you think about this adding a 28th question? This crazy question. I'm going to reread the question.
Yeah.
It's if it was revealed to you that all life on Earth would be wiped out precisely 30 days after you die, whenever this may be, would this knowledge change your overall motivation? How and why? Do you think there's a crazy question to add on to this?
Is it just a jet? Like the loudest fucking jet?
I guess it must be.
It's a weird fucking sound, isn't
It
it?
is, yeah. Or some sort of like cart rolling down the hill or something. I don't know. I can't tell.
So weird.
I think it's just. But it seems like it's like
It's constant.
persisting, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like means it's something like long rolling down the hill or something rolling down the hill for quite a while, slowly.
Maybe. But then it would
You know what I
be
mean? Like
fading
something-
away.
Yeah, I guess.
Like a steady grinding sound.
Some
It
ebb
sounds
and
like
flow.
a fire, doesn't
Some
it?
ebb and flow. Yeah, maybe. Is it that?
So weird.
It's really, I mean, there's definitely variation.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is that?
It's really, really strange. I gotta pee. Pee break.
Pee break. Whatever it was, it appears to be gone. Yep.
So very weird. Is this thing still going?
It's still going.
Okay, so
Your opinion is wanted on this question. Do you want to answer this question?
I
What do
don't
you think
even.
of
I
this
still
question?
can't even. I was so scared by that rumbling sound that I could not even focus on the question.
If it was revealed to you that all
Oh, the 30 days thing.
Yes.
So, what would I do differently about like in those 30 days?
30
I mean,
days.
sorry, right? And what would I do differently to not let the? Yeah, I mean,
No, not
I would.
to-
You know,
Would it change how you were going to live your life?
yeah, I would devote every
Why?
ounce of my being to life extension research.
Life extension, but it's not about life extension because it's
just so
no
I
matter-
could live.
Oh.
Let everyone else
Ah.
just
interesting.
continue to evolve. I'd be the one vampire. I'd probably just have to feed on like 10 people a year. or
So you
something.
mean
Maybe 12, one a month.
become immortal is what you really is what
So
you
that the
mean.
universe doesn't end?
So
I'm
that
saving the universe.
no, so
with
that
my
the
inventory.
human race.
Okay,
yes,
the human
yes,
race. Yeah.
yes.
To save the human race, I would become immortal.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, interesting. This is an interesting answer.
That's so logical.
Interesting. I can't argue with the logic of it. I guess.
I gotta save the human race.
Yeah, well.
It's an epic story.
Okay. No. So yes, okay. There you go. That's a good encapsulation of your response.
I like that. Yeah, that's a funny question.
That's a funny question.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting one. There's a lot of this book that I'm reading. That's like that's one of the main things that it asks.
Come
Hi,
here.
buddy.
Come here, Coop. Come here.
Hey, Kobe.
Come here.
Hey, Kobe.
Hey.
Hey,
Come here,
buddy.
Coop.
Go to Daddy. Go ahead. Go to Papa. Come here.
Come.
Oh, good boy. Good boy. Go to Daddy.
Coop.
He wants to see you.
Come here. Good boy. For posterity, dog.
Oh, there you go. That's a good idea.
A few frames of him in there.
You never get to put your feet on the table.
Look
It's
at
a one-time
that. Special
only
deal. One time only special
Pose
Koopy.
for the camera.
Koopy. Oh, that's awesome.